slattery'sgarage.ie.
Tipp FM's Tipp Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slattery'sgarage.ie.
Well, I was looking forward to this. Pat Shortt is in the house.
Ho, 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 ho. It's my Christmas trip to you, Fran.
It's great to see you, Pat.
And I did it without the daughter this time. I can't be bringing her everywhere.
You left her aside. You threw her aside.
She's in Dublin. I don't know, we were talking about it in the break there. Faye is working with Spin Spin Dublin, and the show also goes out in Spin South West. And it's great. She loves it. She's been at it now. We toured Australia and New Zealand. I think we were talking about that the last time we were here. We were heading out there. We did it over the summer. Yeah. And Faye had to cut the trip short because she was starting with the Bauer Group, so she flew back into Dublin to do that. I stayed on for a week in Blackguard.
Of course you did. Of course you did, indeed.
Do you know, I played, and I can't now. I'm shocking for the names, but I played a fantastic golf course in New Zealand, and it was all laid on for me because there was a young Tipperary man looking after the whole place. Yeah, you can go nowhere. And a lovely, lovely guy. I think he was about Cabragh White direction, that direction, but he had worked in it there, and they brought him out. They headhunted him out to Australia. Now this is the golf course in New Zealand. I mean, yeah,
well, I didn't realise you were a golfer.
Well, I am a bit. I mean, look, I played it years ago. Myself and John Kenny got into it years ago, so we were touring a lot, and it's great to kill time during the day. And the first few years we played loads of golf, and then things changed. Killinscully came along, all sorts of other things, and I just didn't get the time, you know. But I love it. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, well, particularly when you're touring, it will be a nice little
It is. It's a nice distraction.
Respite from it all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was admiring your cardigan when you came in. You're right. You're like one of the fancy brothers.
The slippers in the pipe, I know. This happens with age, Fran. You start getting cardigans.
Comfort. That's what you're looking for. One of the reasons you're here, of course, is to highlight that gig in the Source. That's happening in January, and it's short stuff. So, is it a new show?
It's a brand new show. Myself and Faye wrote it there over the summer after we finished the tour in Australia and New Zealand, and then we wrote the new show. We opened it only a few weeks back, and we're on tour at the moment. But I love January with a new show because I always go to Thurles, down to the Source, and it's like going home. And my dad passed away a while back, and Mary's moved to Cork down to be close to Catherine, my sister, so we don't have any physical connection to Thurles anymore. So it's an excuse. All my family get together and come down to this show, and we go out for the town in Thurles. So it's great.
Is there a particular pressure on you, though? I mean, you're entertaining, as you say, a lot of family, a lot of friends. Is that different dynamic?
I always find Thurles, I'm on my game. Because you walk out onto the stage and you look at the faces and you go, oh, sweet Jesus. Fellas, you see fellas you were in school with 30, 40 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, and you see the kind of bit more greyer or thinner on top type of person sitting there that sat beside you. So, yeah, those things make you a bit more kind of conscious.
Of course, yeah.
And the other thing too, Fran, when I'm writing material, I write using names that ring a bell to me. And then when I come off stage, my sister go, why did you have to mention Bridie? And I'm going, what? Jesus, that was Bridie Solson from up north. I said, jeez, the name was familiar in my head, but I didn't realise I was talking about neighbours. And I'm actually not talking about neighbours, just names I use.
Of course, yeah. But because improvisation has been so much part of what you've done over the years, when you're in a place like Thurles, do you pick out, do you sort of...
Of course you do.
Victims.
But again, you hear sighs and chuckles and gasps, and you realise, oh shit, I just mentioned someone.
Somebody they know somewhere.
Exactly, yeah.
Isn't it great? Yeah. I mean, what you mine from for the comedy, and I mean, we've often spoken about this in the past, but I mean, you keep going back to the source, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you go back to where you come from. It's like anybody that writes anything. You write with your, with what you're familiar with, and because it reminds you. I mean, I would forget about things I remember, as a kid, and I'm writing a character, and then suddenly I trigger an individual I remember up the square in Thurles, or over in the Monks on a Wednesday night, or something like that, and that would give me a chuckle and a laugh, and I'd incorporate that into the character or the story or whatever, and it wouldn't necessarily, some people mightn't see it, but to me triggers things. You know what I mean? Like an old priest that we used to know when we were young fellas, or when we were in the Autoboys, or something that happened, and then you enlarge it for comic reasons. But I think that's what always makes the Turles show special.
Of course, but it's the art is in the enlarging of it, because I know a lot of people. I don't know how many times people have said to me, "Sure, look, this is real stuff now for Dunbelievables, or this is stuff for Pat Shortt. Sure, if all you'd have to do would be to script that down, it would be great." You see, it
doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Fran, from being on stage yourself, there's a whole. That's why they call it the craft of stagecraft. Because that's where we, myself and Faye, take it. And Faye, of course, trained as an actress and a writer in the Gage School of Acting and on to film school as well. So she understands that whole thing of creating. And so we take the story, we turn it around, we write it, and then we present it to the audience. Because that old story, like Jesus, sure, how'd you make Irish people laugh? Because there's so many of them are hilariously funny, and they are. I mean, I went to school with lads who are 10 times funnier than me, but they couldn't turn things around and put it up on the stage, and I'd never deny that. I mean, I love sitting around listening to characters and stories,
Yeah, and you see, are people conscious when they're around you? Oh, like, he might be looking at me now with a view to lampooning me somewhere along the way.
I remember once a very good friend of mine was a cameraman, Keane de Butler. Everyone would know his father was Eamon. Keane lives in Connemara up in Carrow. And he did All Kill a Scully with me. I did a load of movies with him, Man About Dog and various other ones. And we worked together lots. I was up in his house one night, I was saying, sure, we got lock-in the local pub in Carrow. And they're all speaking Irish. Not my Irish would be minimal, really poor. And one fellow was telling a story, and it's the physicality of someone telling the story that I knew what he was on about. Do you know what I mean? Picking up the odd word. And when he told the punchline, I roared laughing, and the whole place went into shock. And Keane told me after he turned around, I thought you said that fecker couldn't speak Irish. And he thought I was listening to every word of it and pretending not to understand. But people do think that.
I'm sure they do indeed. You were doing some work with our mutual friend Mike Hanrahan recently as well. You were doing some musical work.
We did after the TV show. We toured a bit. With a show. Unfortunately, we were doing one over Christmas, charity one up in Roscommon this the 11th of December, and that's the only one this year we're doing. We're hoping to get back and do some more. Me and Mike go back years and years and years.
To the old Stockton's days.
The old Stockton's days when he was in the Bell Table. They were huge. I was starting out with John, and they had a great affinity to the Bell Table and Bree Jukes, who was very good to them in the starting out days. So they were doing a charity gig there for the Bell Table, and so were we on the same bill. And that was the first time I met them, and I'll never forget it. I mean, as casual as BJ's, Mike. And
I do indeed.
I remember we went across to the bar, Kenny O'Brien's at the time, opposite the Bell Table, Wisconsin, and
it was in Limerick.
Sorry, yes. Listen, and the stage manager came running across saying, "You're on, lads, you're on." They were like, "We're all right." And I could never get over the coolness of them finishing the pint and throwing the cross over. Now, it wasn't one of their professional gigs; it was a charity gig they were doing, so they were much more relaxed in that sense. But anyway, we got to know each other then. That was. Crikey, that was in the 86, 87 around
Is it that far back?
And we were good friends, and then he was the head chef for me in the pub down in Cork for 4 years.
Of course, I'd forgotten about that. Sure, that was the other connection.
So we were very close there, working. Mike was teaching in Ballymaloe. He'd become a chef. He'd given up music.
He's the real deal, isn't he?
No. And he went off working then after he trained in Ballymaloe. And then they headhunted him back to teach there, and he taught there for a few years. And I didn't realise he was there. It was only around the corner from the pub. So I was talking to Sue Collins, who was married to Ronnie Drew's son, and Mick and Ronnie had toured a lot. And she said, make sure to say hello to Mike when you're down this weekend. We were doing a show. And I said, where? So I was looking for a new head chef, and I contacted Mike and said, look, you're teaching in Ballymaloe. Do you know anyone that'd be interested? And he went, I would. And we went on to work for a couple of years together. He was an amazing chef. But then we ran the traditional music festival down there, the Cllr River Trad Fest, and we had some amazing acts on there. Small little marquee at the back, but we pulled in all our connections. And we had one night we had oh my God, we had a huge lineup. Delamitri, we're in the little marquee with a 100-seater at the back. But I knew them through friends of like Colin the Commotion and guys at and lead guitarist in Delamitri. I'd written a lot of comedy with him. He was the longest running writer on the Fast Show and stuff like that. So we'd done some work in BBC and stuff like that, and we also had Lisa Hannigan the same night, and what's the other? Brianna Corrigan as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
And
What a lineup.
And the O's from Texas as well.
Yeah.
And myself and Mike Hanrahan.
That's great. And when you work with Mike now, those gigs we were talking about, I mean, is there an element of comedy in that as well?
Look, there is banter.
Yeah.
It's banter and cracking. There is an element of comedy, although we don't. It's not a Pat Shortt comedy show.
Yeah, sure.
It's Mike and Pat, but
you playing the sax.
And we do have a bit of crack to two of us because we just tell stories and we talk about. Funny enough, a lot of the funny stories are from doing the TV show together, Songs of Ireland. We had such fun in that, and such crazy stuff happened, and we just re-encounter that, and
it's lovely. Aren't you so lucky? You get to do such diverse stuff, Pat.
Yeah,
you know, the movies and the series and all of these things together.
Yeah, and I'm blessed. I'm in Bristol every week at the moment. I'm over there shooting.
Can you tell us what that's
a
about?
little bit, because I'm doing a show called The Reluctant Vampire, which is people out there might know Lenny Rush. He's a young actor in the UK. He's I don't know what the type terminology is. He's like a midget. Okay, I said that now. Lenny wouldn't mind me.
Where's my
saying
dump button? Where's my dump button? A person of small stature.
Thank you very much. But then there's like Tom, what you call him, the other comedian. Like there's huge comedians in this show. I have to consult my phone here to get all the names of who's in it. But it's there's a massive cast. You know, Lenny Rush is in it. Ajim Chowdhury, people would know him. He's an Asian comedian. He's massive.
I know him. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Bill Bailey's in it as well.
Wow.
And Tom Davies is in it. It's a huge lineup of who's who in British comedy. So. I'm the only paddy stuck in the middle of it, which is great. We flying the flag. So look, it's about. There's not much out there about it, but it's about a young. Do you know who wrote it actually? Which is incredible. Now, not the screenplay, but the original story was. Morecambe and Wise.
Go on.
Yes, I mean this is a serious gig. Like, I mean, I'm honoured to be honoured.
It must have been written years ago because both guys have passed away.
I think his son finished it when he died,
My God.
and then it's since been obviously to get screenwriters in to put it on television. You know, but it's one of the flagship comedies BBC are doing this year, and it's great to be part of it.
And when will we see it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gone. I do shows on Friday and Saturday, and I'm hit for the airport Sunday morning, and I'm back on Wednesday, Thursday, and back doing shows. I'm over and back in a place called the Cotswolds in England.
Oh, beautiful area.
God, I've never been there before.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it is absolutely postcard.
Isn't it great? Even though many times we've spoken about movies and various different things, the gap between you producing something like this and it coming out sometimes can be huge.
Yeah, I did a thing a couple of years ago, and I don't even know it's out yet. It's a big Netflix thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm deadly serious, and I keep wondering when is it coming out. And I saw
movie?
No, TV series.
Okay.
I can't even remember what the name of it is. But
I just did this whole Netflix series. I can't remember it. I love it.
No, I honestly, because I did Bodkin obviously and a few others, but this one I'd forgotten. Oh yeah, oh no, I do know. It's the follow up to the Derry Girls, Belfast to Heaven.
Oh,
and I haven't seen it, about it yet.
Wow.
And it's fantastic, big series.
God, I can't wait for it.
I think it's out in the States or somewhere already, but I don't think it's kind of out in this neck of nose. Someone will ring in, Fran.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. 083-311-3311. They're all onto me here. I only looked at the screen now. Say how wonderful Pat Shortt. Don't be giving him a big for God's sake.
That's the Turner's crowd. Look after their own.
And speaking of, it is the 17th of January, isn't it?
Yes,
17th of January at the Source. And Leanne has told me if you want to call the Source now, annoy the hell out of them, it's 0504 90204, or it's box office at sourcearts.ie, and that's all.
It's a great Christmas present. If you don't like someone, send them on to see us.
I know what I'll do. I'll send them on. They can get onto your own website.
Well, of course, patshortt.com. We're touring all over the country. I think another venue might be close to us here is the Watergate in Kilkenny. But
13th.
That's in December. But I think that's sold out already.
Is it?
I think it is. It's another great venue. We love going to perform in. It's cracking.
Isn't that fantastic? So some of the tours sold out already.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? And a really funny one. One of my first ever gig I did on my own was in the Watergate Theatre after The Unbelievers and all the rest. And I came off the stage, and this only reminded me of it the other day. I came off stage to go to an area where I would talk to the character, and who's sitting in front of me? Only David Hanley.
Go on.
Just
the late David.
Yeah, the late David Hanley. And
right.
it was sad when I heard about he died the other day. That memory came into my head, and he was so charming. And you know, he's a legend. And in Kilkenny, where he's lived for years, he's very, very well known. And he was just so good to me. I thought, you know, the last thing you want to see is a celebrity when you walk off. You go, Jesus, what do I do here? Do I acknowledge them? Do I not? And you just want to do your piece. And he was lovely, you know.
Yeah, I was in contact with his brother Mick over the weekend as well when I heard he had passed. Yeah, would you have worked with Mick Hanley as well over the years?
I played with him quite a few times. Mick wrote a great song, which I gave him. I can't say it on the radio. How we can? It was a love song. I often maintain some of the best songs I wrote and I came up with. I'm a bit like Adele or Tate. You know, it all came out of bad relationships. And I gave Mick the title, and he went away and wrote it. And it was a beautiful ballad song called "I Can't Get Over You Till You Come Out From Under Him." Get him to sing that to you one day.
I'll have to do. He's often in here. I'll have to get him to sing that for sure. I love all of his songs. He has a lovely song called "The Silence." Did you ever?
Oh yes, I
did.
did. Oh yeah.
Yeah, where a couple they're at a party and they're life and soul of the place. But he says you sang your Rocks Upon, I sang my Blue by You, and in the taxi home the knives were drawn and we had the silence. How powerful is that?
I know. He's just an incredible writer. But they were both.
Absolutely.
David as well, great writer as well.
Great writer and great broadcaster as well over the years. Movies. What about movies, Pat Shortt?
I've nothing. I don't think I've anything coming out. I'm shooting one in February. Fairly big job. Good friend of mine. I've been championing him for years, and young guy. He's only 27, and he's just. I think he's one of the most amazing writers. And we did a short film last year, 2 years ago, and he banged it off to Sundance, and they flew him out the following week.
Wow.
And I won't mention the figure they paid for his first script, but it was
a few bob.
Life-changing.
Life-changing?
Yes.
Wow.
And are we on a camera?
No,
we're not.
There's no cameras in here. Part of the contract, no cameras.
But they've also funded him to direct his next feature, and fairly sizable sum. And he's shooting it in February, and they've asked me to be one of the leads in it, so which is great because out of Short. So I'm delighted for him. Like, I mean, he's everyone's going to find out about him at some stage, but I won't mention any names at this stage. But he, like 2 years ago, he was fitting smart meters in houses up in Mayo, and writing away at night time, and he's stacks of scripts, and I used to read him and I go, oh my God, these are incredible. We were hoping to put together maybe a play next year, one of his plays. I was going to produce it for him just to get him moving, but I don't think I'll have to now.
Isn't it fantastic?
Well, it's great.
How do you see? That's an interesting one. I've seen a couple of film scripts, even of famous movies over the years, and I go, how did anybody see a brilliant movie in that, if you know what I mean?
It's instinctive. I mean,
is that what it is?
Look, I read scripts every week, to be honest with you, and I was asked to direct a script recently, and I just said no. Of a full-length feature, it would have been my first feature. It would have been easy to take it, but I just didn't see the script flowing.
Right.
And with his scripts, a bit like reading a Martin McDonagh script, it flows. It's edgy. It's dark. It's got all.
And you'd know straight away.
And the dialogue between the characters, how they speak to each other, it just seems so natural. Do you know what I mean?
It's a great gift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful
gift, to write is incredible like that. And so this guy had it. I always felt he had it. I think some people felt he was a bit like McDonagh, but I was going like, well, yeah, he's from the west of Ireland. They speak like that up there. He's in the.
He has his own voice.
He has his own voice, 100%, and his stories are a bit more dark.
Did you ever decide to trundle off to Hollywood yourself and sort of set up camp out there?
I was asked to. After Garage came out, and I was requested, and a lot of directors wanted to meet me. And after Cannes, we did huge in Cannes, and the word was on the street kind of thing. And my sister was quite sick at the time, so I decided to stay at home in Ireland and spend time with her, which was the right thing to do. She passed away not long after, and you have a window and an opportunity, and you go for it or you don't. And then I spoke to producers, and they kind of said to me, no, do you know what, if you want to uproot your whole family and move out there and do all this kind of stuff. And I was doing too much in Ireland, and I thought, no. And they were saying, the way the world has gone as well is that auditions for big American movies are done through London as well. So you don't have to move to LA anymore, really. You can almost get stuff through London, you know.
Right.
And I have an agent in London, and that's where a lot of stuff has been coming through. I mean, I did an audition for one movie in Chicago, and I didn't get it. And I was 2 years later watching Netflix, this movie. I'll watch that. And next thing, I'm listening to the script, and the dialogue, and I go, that sounds familiar. Jesus, that's the movie I was auditioning for. I wonder who got my part.
And who got it?
Colin Farrell. He needed it more than I did at the time.
They didn't go for looks, obviously.
No, I had gigs up Mullingar and places like that.
Much more important stuff, indeed. You mentioned about losing your dad. I think, particularly for Irish, losing your dad is a kind of a real milestone. How did it affect you, Pat? Because you were very close. I met both of you together several times.
You knew Christy through Monks and one thing and another. And I think what brought us very close together, apart from being dad and son, was the music and theatre and all that sort of stuff, which he had a keen interest in, and he was an amazing musician. I lost my mother when I was about 7, and that was a big deal, to be honest with you, all through my life. Losing my dad was tough. Absolutely. It doesn't make it any easier that he was 93 or 92.
Yeah, of course.
You think it does, and you're saying to yourself, he had a great life. You know, he's old now. You know, God, if I lived to that age, I'd be happy enough to slip away as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So all those things. But then like maybe a week or two later, it hits you, he's gone. And I think that's that. And then times like, going down to Turles, every time I was in Source, he'd always come in to see me, even if we were playing in Brew and Cashley, come over to shows there and that. And I was playing in Brew recently, and the last time I think we played there, I'd set a seat aside from on the aisle because he was getting older, and he said he might need to get up in the middle of the show and move around a bit, not be sitting in it. So all those kind of things. And I was looking at the seat this time around going, Jesus, that was where Christy sat. Things like that bring it back to you. But look, he had a great life, and he did an awful lot in his life. He's an incredible man musically and everything, and the family he reared and all the rest. So, you have to think of the positives too, You
have to indeed. The 17th then, it is the 17th. 17th of January.
Yeah.
Short Stuff, the brand new show at the Source.
Get out after Christmas and enjoy yourself.
0504 90204 if you want to book at the box office, or if you're computer savvy, box office at sourcearts.ie, or on your own site then
www.patshortt.com. You'll find everything there, and you'll get a link straight to the Source.
Well, I hope Faye as well, and give her our good wishes, won't you? And happy Christmas to you.
She can't be here this morning.
Yeah. Well, we'll see her again soon, I'm sure. Look after yourself, Pat. Thanks very much, Lee. That's it for me. Leanne produced, Ali looks after our content. Stephen has the Time Tunnel on the lunchtime show, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Tipp FM's Tipp Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.